Okay, hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to play this new game, Masquerade. I know nothing about it. A friend just suggested this game to me to play because he saw a trailer with Matt Mercer, and Matt Mercer is quite an authority in terms of role-playing games. So if he decided to make a trailer with himself, so basically the game worth it, I guess. But before we start to play the game, of which I know nothing about it, I basically just play a little bit through tutorial just to see how it is. Let's watch a trailer because it can be quite interesting and important in terms of the subject of the game, of the story. Okay, so as much as we have seen, the game isn't set in a classical medieval style. Don't get me wrong, I quite like the classical Middle Age Northern European style, but for a change it's very nice to see a game which is made in more like Italian Renaissance style. To me it's nice to see it for a change, but at this point I guess it's better to go through tutorial. It's maybe not quite interesting to see but watch, but it has some, I guess, important thing for this, for the history, for the story of the game. So let's basically do that. Okay, we have a loading screen. Sorry. Sorry for that. Okay, voila.
We did it, Cyrus. We're in.
Save your
Okay.
relief, Amadea. We're not out of the flames yet.
Cyrus, we must keep moving. Bretha, secure the west wing.
Come. We must head to the Hall of Bearings. There are still some of us that are unarmed.
Okay. The tutorial contains basic information, how to move, how to attack, but what is important is that we are in the middle of some coup d'etat or something which has to do with overthrowing the government. So we have the premier fight now. Okay, okay, okay. It's not very much important. Okay. Okay, okay, let's just kill this guy, and I guess we cannot be killed at this point of the game because it's tutorial. So we can just have a basic glance on the fighting system. There is a yellow field before each player, which is basically the shield area, so called. And voila, loading screen again. Okay, we're moving closer. Okay, so basically the fight again. We have tactical pause as in many classical RPG, which is nice, but so pause. Okay, we'll see how it will aid us. On tactical pause, you can issue commands. Right, that's nice. You can also. Okay. Okay, let's go for the DPS here. I don't know whether backstab really matters in this game, but if the enemy and you have so-called shield area, maybe it's wise to go for the backstab. You can also revive your fallen comrades by pressing E by right-clicking on them. Okay. So we revive the guy with the shield. And a little bit of
Damn
dialogue.
it. They've tunneled too far in. We can chase them.
Forget it. There are
Cyrus
more than enough
Gamma.
Masquerades here. Both of you take all you can and bring them to the troops.
I will tell Invidius. He should be done with...
This?
What? Cyrus, I'm not going anywhere. Not before that bastard is killed. Neither am I.
Both
Okay,
of you, listen.
neither you are.
If we are to stand any chance at winning this, our men need these Masquerades.
So let Invidius take them.
And what if Portieri await him on the way back? Tell me you trust him, or anyone else, to defend against them.
Cyrus.
Honestly.
No.
Then go. And Amadea?
I can fight, Cyrus.
I know you can. Which is why you need to go with Lysandra and Invidius. They'll take care of you.
But...
No buts, Amadea. Now go, both of you.
I will be back with reinforcements. Don't you dare do anything foolish without me, Cyrus Gavar. Understand? Cyrus.
Yes. Now go.
Okay, so they left us and we are basically together with this guy.
Oh, I mean it. But understanding and complying are two different things, Nal.
She's not going to be happy with you, sir.
The number of times I've heard that.
Alright, let's move on. And I don't understand, I guess I cannot loot all these guys for their armor and stuff. So voila, we just have no choice but to continue. Okay, and we have a... Okay, tap to switch. You can switch between your companions. Okay, let's try for a change to play as a shield guy. And again for the...
What now, sir?
We aim for the heart. Avestus will be trying to escape. We cannot let that happen, and we cannot afford to wait for Lysandra's return. He will be long gone by then. We must do it ourselves.
That sounds dangerous, sir.
Null, we have broken into the heart of the White Spire. There are few lines of danger we have left to cross.
Well, sir, if this is how it has to be, then let us do it.
Thank you, Null, and your men as well. Umber will remember this when they fashion the laws of freedom.
But not you, sir.
Come on. We have a man to kill.
Oh yes, we have a man to kill. As far as I understand, Ombre, or Ombre, it's the name of the city in which the game takes place. Voila, loading screen again. And we are close to our goal.
Cyrus, it doesn't have to end this way.
I am truly sorry.
Go, sir! We've got you covered!
Alright. Basically have to follow the bad guy. If he's truly a bad guy. We don't know so far. Some skills apply elemental tax on affected enemies. This part I so far do not understand, but okay, we'll try to get. I'll try to understand it while I'm playing later. When an elemental attack is activated, additional effects are invoked. The elemental type of the activated attack determines the invoked effect. Okay. Use cold stream. Watch to apply water attack. I believe the water attack. This is the water attack. I don't know. We'll see. Use the signature attack, Ice Blade, to activate water attack to deal a burst of damage. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Deal with one guy. What is the skill number 3? Okay, nice. So we are close. Alright. Okay, the first skill deals a lot of damage and reduces this yellow bar, which appears to be, I don't know, the shield or absorb of the damage. Okay. Okay, we go to the next screen.
What? Where is Avestus?
Safe. The corridors of the registry are twisted. You know that.
Just like its leader.
You don't mean that.
Yes, I do. And you know it. Just because you have that cape on your shoulder doesn't mean that you are blind to the injustices of this broken city.
Cyrus, please.
You know its insides are corrupt, its ways foul.
And
Yes,
even
yes,
if
yes.
I did, what then? We are but single entities, Cyrus. How much can one person hope to achieve?
Nothing by themselves, but with people who believe in them, who believe with them.
I'm sorry.
Lucia, please.
Okay, so
You have
now we
already
have to
cost
fight
the city
this
too
bodyguard
much. This
of
must
the
end.
the bad guy. I don't really know who it is. It goes. Oh la la. So we're not going to win this battle, I suppose.
I am so sorry, my friend.
Okay.
Have you any last words?
The city needs to change, Lucia.
Goodbye, Cyrus Gavar.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, bye bye. So the Cyrus Gavar is dead, and here it's where basically the story starts. It's quite interesting that when the character dies, the mask disappears. I guess the masks play some very important role in the story and in the social stratification of the city, but we will see that later. And now we can start the new game. I'll play on the normal difficulty, and we will have some intro as well.
Ships. Nowhere else in a midnight bell to air so many damn ships. Is it true though? You say a moment you lay eyes on that city, a demon possesses you. It's where all magic comes from, they say. Hey.
They also say the pipe will kill you. Yet, here we are.
The whole trip I tried not to, Cicero. But you made a promise. Going back here ain't gonna do you no good.
I made a promise to my parents, too. To feed them. Give them a better life. I need the money, Varl.
And the question is, are you willing to pay with your soul for it?
I suppose we'll find out.
Into the shadows we go.
Alright,
Breathe it
so
in,
now we're
Cicero.
basically in the game,
The
finally.
smell of a bad decision.
Ah, smells like runic spices to me. Ugh, and sewage.
You joke about it now.
Relax, Varl. I'll see you in a 5-day. I promise.
A promise. If you break it, I swear to 7 sisters that I'll come down to the pits myself to wrangle your skinny neck.
Oh my god,
I'll see you when I see you, Captain. Pits or no.
what a nice conversation. So, here in our journal we have 2 basic information, pieces of information about the guy who brought us. So, let's quickly read them. Varl is the guy, the old sailor, and I guess the Emerita is the name of his ship. So I'm sorry, I will read it. Few can understand the relationship between a captain and his ship. It is a love of a sort found in few other places. Perhaps the closest relationships I can think of to parallel it would be of those between us, a tinker and his tools, or a blacksmith and his smithy. But no, looking at Varl and his ship, you would realize that that wouldn't quite go. The first time I met Varl, he had been screaming at one of his crewmen for shipping aboard along the side of the America. The poor lad who shouldering a shipment of pole arms for Tessera and had grazed the hull of the ship. I learned later that this was not an uncommon occurrence. A nick on a mast, a scuff on a floorboard, and off the rails he would go, screaming, yelling, throwing things about. No one ever got seriously hurt, but considering the vigor and patience with which he would brace his crew, one would think they would chopped off a toe of his or burnt off an eyebrow. Wow, quite a violent guy. And perhaps, in some sense, they might as well have. The America was as much a part of him as any of his limbs. His love for the America went far beyond simple fondness. He had integrated it into his existence. It had entwined itself with the threads that formed his identity. Any offense against the ship was a discreet, direct offense against him. Some would say that a craftsman is only as good as his tools. I'm inclined to say this man has taken it quite a step further. Okay, and we have somewhere a piece of information about the city, but I cannot see it quite yet. Okay, we will go further and see what we discover about the city and about the story of our character, which I suppose is the brother of the guy who was killed during the tutorial.
Sir.
Sir,
Relax. You are the coach hands I was told to expect?
that's us. Elena Toth, sir.
Ricardo Toth, at your service.
The coach is nearby?
Just a minute this way, sir.
Okay, let's follow these 2 lads. Okay. I know that we have to go in this direction, but what interesting can we find here? Well, nothing. as I said, I really appreciate this Renaissance kind of Italian style. Okay.
Flashy! I expected the registry to be spending more on dealing with the war than prettying up their carriages.
Oh, actually, sir...
Don't get me wrong, I love the finish, but...
Sir, it's this one.
What?
Okay.
Well, the less attention we draw, the better for us anyway.
Yeah, look for the
Come
better
on.
sides.
Let's see if this butte can get us through the...
Whoa.
ages.
Presents out, all of you. Make no trouble for us, and you'll have none yourselves.
Sir?
Do it.
Okay, bye money.
That's it, boys. Stop by again, you know. It was a pleasure.
They're getting bolder by the day.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
true.
have liked to have seen how bold they felt if they knew he was an Inspectore. I bet they would have thought...
Ricardo!
Inspectore.
Hear that, boys? An Inspectore.
You mean you no trouble?
Words spoken behind a blade. The Inspectore will fetch us some. We don't need the other two. Truly a pleasure.
Hold your ground!
Okay. That's the first real fight, I suppose. And we don't have any skills now. We're quite lucky that these guys are quite easy. Okay, bye Archer. And now we go.
So, Ricardo, you watched me fight.
He more than watched, sir. He was practically gawking.
Sister?
Relax. All I wanted to know is why you seem so surprised.
Well, 7 Inspectores and none would stoop to a level to have contadini like us present to watch them train.
Doesn't mean you can't steal a glance from the West Wing. The upper levels provide quite the view.
If you don't mind me saying, sir, you're awfully comfortable around us.
What do you mean?
People like us, I mean, contadini, maskless.
You mean people who have lives and dreams and all? I think I'd be more worrying if I was uncomfortable, no?
Okay, so basically what we have learned from this conversation is that there is quite social injustice in this
It's been
kind
so
of
long
society
since I've heard that.
between masked and
what?
unmasked people.
Slow down,
Maskless, should I say.
That.
But what is a kind of social stratification? We're going to find out.
The Pale Isle. For a city this dark to have a heart so bright. Let's go. This is new.
Extra security measures, sir, since the war began.
Business?
Transport.
And who are you transport... I see.
Problem, Ilencio?
Carry on.
Okay, I have my white privileges, so we can carry on.
Well, that wasn't very polite.
You don't expect them to treat war criminals with politeness, do you?
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to...
So
No.
we are a war criminal.
Stop the
That's
coach,
interesting.
please. I think I'd like a little time to myself, if you don't mind. I'll make my way up to the White Spire when I'm done.
Of course, sir. We'll be at the stables if you need to find us.
Contadani. Let's read what it is. The Masquerada might be the jewels of Ombre. So Ombre, it's maybe a world or a country, I don't quite know yet. But it is Contadani, the Contadani that are its lifeblood. A large number of the Contadani are found outside the city, in the lands known as echoing plants. The plants are still within the national borders of Ombre, and settlements in the plains that are collectively known as the, my god, Randagia house a great many of the nation's Contadani. Life in the I'm sorry. Randagia is relatively simple compared to that in the city. Farming and raising cattle uh, are the most common jobs taken up by Contadani living there. Within the city itself, however, a great many Contadani have taken up residence. Uh, to many people from foreign lands, their presence in the city makes no sense. It is a dangerous place, one filled with death and poverty. Yet, why does it attract so many of the nation's lower class? Most of Ombre's scholars believe that once enough individuals come together to form a sufficiently large society, that society begins to behave in ways that are independent of, perhaps even detrimental to, the interest of its members. In a way, the seed develops a mind, a will of its own to survive and to keep plodding on. So they say asking why Cantadani continue to live in the city is problematic because it assumes that the individual's desires of each Contadani would somehow be reflected in the larger movements of the city when that is in fact not really the cause. The cynical rhetoric that has been given is that the Contadani remain in the seat because they are a part of it, despite their individual desires, have no power as a collective to change that. To a certain degree I believe in the theory, but I fear it all too well makes a quieter reason for the growing existence of our unprivileged lower class, the potential of fulfillment. Many Contadani glamorize the life of the Masquerada, and I cannot blame them for doing so. We bend the elements of the world to our will. We live in the lavish houses and beautiful vistas. We needn't even worry about finding food for the next meal. This lifestyle has a strong lure, especially to those of empty stomachs and vacant persons, and has brought a great number of Contadani to the city. These are men and women who harbor their hopes that by placing themselves in the direct vicinity of the Masquerada, they will one day be able to join their ranks. That hope is not a futile one. I myself have made the transition, although it is not one that often gets fulfilled. Okay, and we have the thing about Ombre. Ombre, the Jewel of the Midnight Belt, acclaimed by all the nations for its wealth and its exotic magic. This is the place I have called home, the country that banished me in exile. Now I have returned to find little changed. It is still bustling and alive, and it still rests in shadow. Whatever I'm stepping back onto its wharf, facing open arms or hidden knives, only time will tell. Okay, interesting. We have a lot about gameplay itself, but it's not very interesting to read, so let's continue. And we have a piece of information here also. Let's read it. The Pale, the Pale Isle. Okay. The Pale Isle is the registry principal ward and, by nature of its proximity to the White Spire, mostly exists to serve the desires and wants of the member of the registry. There are numerous taverns situated in the Pale Island as well as other recreational facilities that help the people of the White Stripe take the edge of life in the Shadow City. Okay, pardon. And yet we continue. Like, what we learned from this from this piece of information is that, as I mentioned, we lived in a kind of caste society.
Hey, aren't you forgetting something, scum?
Okay,
Oi, I'm talking
now we have another fight, I suppose, or pieces
of
of dialect.
all the souls. I never thought I'd get to see you again.
What do you want?
What do I want?
This guy
I
looks
want
like a
you to have
bully.
a taste of what we went through because of you.
Oh my god. Okay, let's get
Oh,
another.
the mouse has teeth.
Get
Let's see
another
how well
fight.
he bites.
Hold your ground!
Okay. Come on.
Wake up!
Oh yeah, I'm not going to win this fight, that's clearly obvious. Yeah. No. Alright, big
The
guy, you
man
won.
who lives like a coward deserves to suffer like one. Valencio!
Whoa. We're safe.
Sir, I swear! I didn't...
Attention. We are in the middle of a war, Senencio. Do you understand that?
I didn't...
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Your masquerine is to be used against the mask runners of the city, not against its citizens, exiled or not. You have demonstrated a sore lack of understanding with regards to the utilization of masquerines. You will unbind from your masquerine and have the privilege of its company revoked for a period of 10 days. Keep me waiting any longer and it'll be 30. Go. You lucky bastard. If I hadn't been out for a drink...
So we know.
This time, someone's picked up some habits.
Yeah.
Why are you here, Cicero? A man with your reputation must be either mad or desperate to return to the city.
Here, read it.
Summoned back to Umber at the request of the Verone, your exile will be revoked and you will be granted a grand sum of... So what? You're back for the money?
Mad or desperate.
And do you know for what reason you've been called back?
If you can decipher anything from this cryptic mess, please.
You need to see a Vestus.
Accompany me? I think it'd be a good time to hear what's been going on.
You mean it'd be good to have a bodyguard?
Yeah, that's
I
true.
was trying to be nice.
Come on. He's in the White Spire.
Okay, a little bit more of the information. Let's read it. So we have the information about binding. The first step that any masquerade needs to take before being able to use a masquerine is a process called binding. It is a simple task. All it takes is a mere imagining of a connection between the masquerade to be and the masquerine, and it is done. The consequences, however, are far from simple. Should a masquerade perish while bonded to a masquerine, the masquerine itself fades away into fine dust that blows away on invisible wings. Okay, interesting. And we have function, no, culture, locations, histories. I need to find the information about the guy. Sorry. Magic, culture, factions, history. Okay, characters. Members of the registry. Tristan. Okay, let's read about the guy. If there has ever been a better personification of stalwart duty than Tristan Tristan del Sole, I have yet to find it. The current Valencia of the city, and I have quite the history to, and I have quite a history together. We had both been portieri at the same time and had served in the same section when we were, but election, no, pardon me, but Elencio just starting out our career. He had joined the force because of his family's legacy. One of the first few barons of the city had been Ramos del Sole, whose assassination served as a spark that began the events that led up to the March of Broken Songs. Despite his assassination, however, the ancient Del Sole was reputedly a great man and an excellent fighter. Tristan admits freely that he feels no emotional connection to the story of his great forebear, but his father had wanted him to be a part of the portieri as his father did before him, and so on and so forth. Though Tristan couldn't have cared less about what Ramos wouldn't have thought, he certainly was a great deal more concerned about the opinion of his own father, who himself had been the Valencio before Tristan. It was in fact his father who had allowed me to join the poetry, though that is a story for another time. And so Tristan and I began our journey together. He, the descendant of some famous politician, and I, the descendant of a contadane smith and a florist. Okay. Uh, at this point, I want to stop video, but before we're doing so, I want to range a little bit some information we got, because it's always difficult to play some fantasy games because of the quite amount of information you got about the world and about the people who live in this world. So basically we have the world with social hierarchy. We ourselves belong to the privileged class, but our ancestors started as a common people known as Cantadani, while this guy who was our friend is like true blue blood noble man. So at this point I will stop the video, so I thank you all for watching, and see you next time when we continue our journey through this world. So bye bye.